I'm going to call
You want to write today?
trustees.
Sophomore section, yeah.
I'm going to call the open workshop. I'm going to call the open workshop to order. It is 6:12. I'll take a roll call. Trustee Burke.
Here.
Trustee Cassius.
Here.
Trustee Egan.
Here.
Trustee Gadesky Rodriguez.
Here.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Here.
Trustee Spafane.
Here.
Trustee Wilbeck.
Here.
Vice President Munoz. Here. And President Slaughter is absent, but she is on her way. Folks, I just need a move and a second for communications. Who would like to do that?
I'll move.
And seconded by Trustee Egan. And that's moved by Vice President Munoz. Just a reminder, please look at Resolution A1. It is our organizational meeting. Open workshop and swearing in ceremony is at 6. Our public meeting is at 7. And that is Wednesday, January 4th, so we do that by resolution. Okay, that said, tonight we have some guests with us. I'm going to ask them to please, you could do it there. Maybe you could introduce yourself and explain to the board what part of the robotics and everything that you're doing. Okay, so whenever you're ready, and don't forget the camera's behind you, so maybe you turn around just a little bit. Yeah.
Hi, good morning. I'm Rocco Shahid, and I'm here with a few of my fellow engineers and coders, and we're here on behalf of VHS Robotics. All three VHS teams: Archive, Honeycombs, and High Voltage. FTC empowers students to make connections with their communities and professionals in the field. In the spirit of that empowerment, we would like to update you on our success. Last year, all three VHS teams made it to the state championship. This season, our teams are ranked in 13th, 8th, and my team is ranked 3rd in our league. I'm proud to say my team is currently ranked in the top 10% of 3,225 teams worldwide. We would like to thank all of you and all your support to our robotics teams. You have given us the opportunity to learn cutting-edge techniques and strategies to work in the STEM field. You have continued to support our teams and provided a platform in FTC that teaches us how to take that scientific knowledge we learn in science and math classes to the next level. Thank you for approving FTC for our competitive robotics teams. Each year, BHS hosts our league tournament with 20 to 30 teams coming to the BHS main gym to compete for the 3 spots to advance to state championships. We would like to invite you, board members, Mr. Neitz, Mr. Kopaz, and Dr. Degnan, to join us at our tournament on Sunday, February 5th. We will follow up with an email containing the details for you. Thank you again, and we hope to see you there. Would you guys like to see our robot moving? Yes. All right. So this is where all the fun comes into. This robot you're seeing here is very expensive. So all these parts. Do you guys know how the escalator moves up and up and up? So basically, we made our own lift system. So this entire thing goes up, and the robotics team members like to joke around and say it's my height. And I'm gonna try to start it right now.
Wait, do you want the controller?
No, it's okay.
Run, just wait. This thing's actually just removing the armor.
one of the wires came out, so I can't really show you how it moves right now, but we were in the vendor fair and we showed like a bunch of the little kids, and many of the kids from the middle schools also came, and they were very excited to join robotics.
I saw it spinning.
Yeah.
You were playing with it.
We had a 2-year-old drive it, and he was actually like, he almost bumped into one of the other kids, but he was really excited on how to do it.
Where does this go again?
But that's all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we're going to adjourn the open workshop, and we will continue at 7 p.m. in the auditorium. It is 6:18. Turn the lights on. And as soon as President Villado gets back, we'll start. Okay, it is 7:05. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Could we please stand for a pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For the record, this is a public meeting of the Bayonne Board of Education. It is 7:06. The 20th day of December, we're convening in the Anna J. Herbert Meeting Room. The presiding officers, Maria Villado, President of the Bayonne Board of Education. Those in attendance include Mr. John J. Neese, our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Kenneth Kopaz, our Assistant Superintendent for Personnel, Ms. Jennifer Vecchiarelli, our Assistant Superintendent for Special Services, Dr. Gary Maida, Board Secretary, Mr. Daniel Castles, our School Business Administrator, Mr. Thomas Fagu Jr., our Assistant School Business Administrator, Dennis Degnan, our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum, Dr. Wachira Braglin Brown, our Chief Academic Officer for Instruction, and Mr. Matthew Jacoby, who is with us tonight as our Board Counsel. The meeting's open to the public. I will take a roll call. Trustee Burke. Here. Trustee Casillas. Here. Trustee Egan. Here. Trustee Godesky Rodriguez.
Here.
Trustee Gonzalez. Here. Trustee Sclafane. Trustee Wilbeck. Vice President Munoz. Here. And President Villado.
Here.
Yep.
For the record, adequate written advance notice of at least 48 hours giving the time, date, and location of the meeting was provided as follows. Notice was promptly posted in City Hall at 630 Avenue C on bulletin board reserved for such announcements of the Board of Education. The Board Secretary sent such notice to the Jersey Journal and Bayonne Community News. Notice was filed with the Municipal Clerk of the City of Bayonne, Ms. Medina.
Before I start my portion of the meeting, I'd like to turn over the meeting to our attorney, Mr. Matthew Jacoby, for a statement.
It's working. So I know some of you, I'm Matt Giacobbe, nice to see all of you, happy holidays. I know a lot of you are out this evening to inquire about the pool. Unfortunately, due to the tragedy that occurred at the pool, there's still an ongoing criminal investigation with the prosecutor's office. We can't comment on it, we can't discuss it whatsoever. We understand that folks want to have the pool open, and as soon as we have information from the prosecutor's office, we will report that to the public. But we can't, unfortunately, I've instructed the board and the staff, we can't have any comments on it. So I apologize, but we do understand that you are desirous of having a pool, having it reopened, and as soon as we have information, we'll be glad to share it when we're permitted to. So thank you very much, and again, happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah.
Thank you, Mr. Jacoby. I'll start with our agenda, which is our approval of minutes and acceptance of communications. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Vice President Munoz, and a second.
I'll second.
Second by Trustee Egan. On that motion and second, Trustee Burke,
Yes.
Trustee Casal.
Yes.
Did you say yes?
Yes, I'm sorry.
yes.
Trustee Egan.
Yes.
Trustee Tedeschi Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez. Yes. Trustee Stefani.
Yes.
Trustee Wilbach. Vice President Munoz.
Yes.
President Milano.
Yes.
Next up is our curriculum and instruction and policy package. Do I have a motion? Motion from Trustee Stefani and a second.
I'll second.
Second from Trustee Tedeschi Rodriguez. On the motion and second, Trustee Burke.
Yes.
Trustee Casal.
Yes.
Trustee Egan.
Yes.
Trustee Tedeschi Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Stefani.
Yes.
Trustee Wilbach.
Yes.
Vice President Munoz.
Yes.
President Milano.
Yes.
Next up is our finance, building, and grounds. Do I have a motion? Other way around.
I'll make that motion.
There's a motion by Vice President Munoz, and there's a second by Trustee Gonzalez. On that motion and second, Trustee Burke,
Yes.
Trustee Casal.
Yes.
Trustee Egan,
Yes.
Trustee Tedeschi Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez. Yes. Trustee Stefani. Trustee Wilbach. Yes. Vice President Munoz.
Yes.
President Milano.
Yes.
Finally, our personnel. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Motion from Trustee Burke.
I'll second. I'll second.
From Trustee Casal. So on that motion and second, Trustee Burke,
Yes.
Trustee Casal,
Yes.
Trustee Egan,
Yes.
Trustee Tedeschi Rodriguez,
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez, Trustee Stefani.
Yes.
Trustee Wilbach. Yes. Vice President Munoz.
Yes.
President Milano.
Yes.
So that is all I have, but we do have a few questions. First, I'm going to call up our Bayonne High School student rep, Nicholas Nahaja.
Hello everyone, long time no see, but it's nice to see everyone again. These past few months have been very busy for the student government and the student body. On October 11th, the Student Government Executive Board attended the New Jersey Association of Student Councils Fall Conference at the College of New Jersey, and the conference was a great experience for the board where we were able to interact with other student councils in New Jersey and share ideas and experiences for various events. In a separate student government meeting, the executive board voted for Vice President Mary Mungrew to run for a seat on the NJASC executive board at the winter conference. She was chosen to run for the position of secretary. We wish her the best of luck, and the executive board is helping her campaign for the very prestigious spot. And we are all looking forward to the upcoming conference that we will be attending in the winter. On October 15th, we hosted our annual homecoming dance, with this year's theme being Golden Hour. Our publicity chairman, Mariah Centeno, did an amazing job with advertising the event on our Instagram page. She built anticipation and spirit for the event, which was vital to success. And we sold out of tickets in just 2 days, which is the fastest we have sold out of tickets for any of our dances. Miss Barone's room was constantly busy with people wanting to buy tickets, and we even had a waiting list after we had sold out. The dance was a great success. The executive board had a fun time transforming the BHS main gym into a beautiful venue for the dance, and everyone had a great time. Thanks to Mariah, everyone was on theme, and thanks to our president, Alicia, the dance was a major success. The executive board is also currently resolving the issues surrounding tickets being sold more equitably to the upperclassmen, but it is important to recognize that our events are for the entirety of Bayonne High School to enjoy, all grades. We can only hope that the success of our homecoming dance will be paralleled with our spring formal, but with our dedicated board, I am sure it will. We also had our Spirit Week to build spirit for the homecoming game. Each day of the week was themed, and on behalf of the Student Government Board and the rest of the student body, I would like to thank Mr. Beccarella and the Board of Education for allowing us to be uniform exempt for the entire week, as it was so important to building spirit. The Spirit Days were really successful, and just from walking the halls of Bayonne High School, you could see how many students were excited and are participating in the various themed days. And after a 2-year hiatus, we were finally able to host a pep rally for the student body. During periods 7 and 8 of October 20th, we gathered the senior class in the main gym to recognize our fall sports. We played games and had performances from the steppers, cheerleaders, and marching band. This was a very successful event that gave a very important chance to recognize our hardworking athletes. And after the pep rally, the student government hosted a tailgate before the homecoming game. The theme was a Western pink out, and it was a great social event that allowed everyone in our community to get involved. The proceeds from the tailgate are going to our sophomore class. To celebrate the holidays, the student government started selling our annual holiday grams. The holiday grams are $1, and students are able to purchase a candy cane and a message to be delivered to their recipient's homeroom on Thursday, December 22nd. The holiday grams are my favorite fundraiser that the student government does, and the student body is super excited to receive their holiday grams this Thursday. And today, December 20th, the student government hosted Winterfest. We held the event in our ice rink, and BHS students had the opportunity to ice skate or watch a movie in the basketball gym. However, the highlight of the event was definitely the vendor fair, which was open to the entire Bayonne community. Small businesses and clubs purchased tables at the fair and sold their various crafts. Overall, the event was a great success and brought the entire Bayonne community together during the holiday season. The money raised from selling tables at the vendor fair are being donated to Bayonne's Rotary Club to support Project Water Wells, but the individual profits that each small business made, they get to keep that. And 50% of the money raised from the Winterfest tickets are being donated to the freshman class. So that's all I have to share for this meeting. The student government looks forward to our future events, and we want to wish everyone on the board a really nice winter break.
Thank you, and happy holidays to you.
You too.
Next up is Suzanne Fresco, 98 East 28th Street.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Suzanne Presco. My address is 98 East 28th Street, and my son is a 7th grade student at Lincoln Community School. Unfortunately, I have to stand here today in sheer disappointment of how things are being handled by the Board of Education and with children who have inclusion and inclusion requirements. This has been a constant challenge since my son has had an IEP. I'm also here with another parent who is going through the same struggles. Now, everyone here I know has to make decisions, but I guess nobody really has a business background. When you do make a decision, you need to have a backup. I'm well aware that my son's inclusion teacher has, I guess, got a promotion and has left our children without a consistent inclusion teacher. My son for 5th and 6th grades has achieved honor roll with a consistent inclusion teacher, and the first 2 marking periods that I'm experiencing right now are in the 70s, which is a very big concern, especially since high schools will be starting to look at him. I really wish that I didn't have to stand here and say I'm so disappointed that I'm standing here looking at everybody who, at one point or another, had my vote. Not anymore, but they did. And I expected to have somebody fight for our children. Our children have been together since kindergarten. They have been structured, and yes, there have been lapses on the board's communication errors with parents like us. I'm not really sure what the solution is going to be, and I'll say her name, Mrs. Hayes, that you all are aware of, that you all knew was coming, and not one person communicated to the parents that there was a possibility there would be a disruption in our children's education. Now, I'm not really sure what your plan is. I understand there's a teacher signed on, but we have to give them days, and I don't want to hear any more excuses. You are gambling with my child, all of you. So I'm a little confused on where the communication comes. This is the only school district that teachers cannot recommend a child for special services because they get reprimanded. I'm a little confused. Are we here for the children? Because my child is in the 7th grade and he is now lacking what you, in a contract, are supposed to give him. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
up, Mr. Joe Wyatt, 301 Maple Avenue.
Madam President, does this board care about the enforcement of its policies? Does it monitor that or not? Or do you just don't care whether the policies are followed or not?
Yes, we monitor them. What
Well,
policy are we talking about?
Well, I want to know then, as I brought up the next time, you have a acceptable use policy that says that your children are not supposed to use their cell phones in school during school hours. And I'm telling you, there is absolutely no enforcement of that. They just use the cell phones anytime they want, except in my room. I do not allow any electronic devices in my classroom, and everybody gets along fine. In my opinion, we have lost control of the high school. Children are just doing what they want to do, and there are no consequences for their actions. I don't know why we're doing that, because one of the roles of an educational institute is to have people have pride in themselves and discipline. We've got totally undisciplined people. They just kind of do what they want to do. I have a young lady who, in my room, you cannot, if you want to go to the bathroom, you have to leave your phone in the room. Because I know the only reason you want to go to the bathroom is not to go to the bathroom, it's so you can make phone calls. And everybody in the room is cooperating except for this one lady. She says, "Can I go to the bathroom?" I says, "Yes, as long as you put the phone on where I can see it." And she has refused. And she, "Oh, it's in my purse." I says, "I don't care where it is. I want to see it. I got to be able to see that phone." And I saw her take her phone out of her pocket and put it in her purse, okay? And so I said, "Well, I want to go to the bathroom." I says, "You can go to the bathroom, but if you don't leave that phone here, you're leaving this room without permission, and I will write you up," and I do that. This is incredible. It's a very simple thing. You're not allowed to use your phone in my room. I'm the teacher. It's in accordance with your policy, okay? So why aren't you enforcing the policy? Why isn't the administration enforcing the policy?
I just have a question for you. Did you bring this up with your administrator? Because we don't do day-to-day. I can't go into a high school and do day-to-day.
I know that, but why don't you ask?
I'm asking you, have you followed up with your administrator?
I am trying to follow with Mr. Beccarelli.
Okay, then I'll make a note of that.
And I'm going to ask him, why aren't you enforcing this policy?
Okay.
And then I'll report back to you what he says, and he's going to say, I don't know, he'll give me some bureaucratic mumbo jumbo.
That's what I would need.
And just one other thing. Last time a parent got up and complained about level B people, and I stood up and said, would the board like to hear some, because I've taught level Bs, I know something about it, and the secretary told me, no, I already had my time. Now, I asked it in the way I asked it so the board could decide if they wanted to hear something or not. If they had said yes, then I would have told you what my experience is with level Bs. If you had said no, I would have sat down. Now, fortunately, the board secretary came and apologized for shutting me down like that. It's not fair, okay? I'm only trying to bring stuff up to you so that you can fix some problems. And by the way, you have signs all in the area where the board is, and the administration is, and every one of you has a picture of you. Read for success. Our children cannot read for success. So we just won't acknowledge the fact that our children are functionally illiterate. You have to do something about it. Okay, fine.
We have a question, High Tech High School, Marissa Lachey. Marissa's up here, Dave.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Marissa Lachey, and I'm a member of the Scarlet Aquatics Bayonne Mermaids and Starfish Swim Club. I'm a junior at High Tech High School, and I also swim for BHS. In comparison to some of my teammates, I began swimming later in life, and I only started a year ago. I quickly found that swimming is a sport that has become an important aspect of my life. Having participated in many sports as I grew up, I liked many of them, but there is something different about swimming to me. It brings a sense of discipline and organization in my life that just fits. I look forward to being in the water. It makes me feel happy and content when swimming. Don't get me wrong, it is harder than anything I've ever done or any sport I've ever tried out. But I love a challenge and the rewards that come with it and the accomplishments. I hope to continue swim in college and for the rest of my life to maintain this sense of self and contentment. Lincoln Pool has become my second home since last year. I would go straight from school to Lincoln and be there from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. for both BHS and Scarlet practices. I loved it, and I developed a sense of family and many friendships with the team. I can tell I will carry them into adulthood. I met Sasha Nozhenko on Scarlet. She first gave me pointers from the start, and we developed into inseparable best friends. She is my swim sister. We do everything together when it comes to swimming. The county's meet was held at Lincoln Pool last year, where all of the local high schoolers get together and compete for medals. I was fortunate enough to swim on that relay team with Sasha, and we swam our heart out, and I'm elated to announce that we brought home the gold medal for BHS for that relay. There are records and times on the wall at Lincoln Pool. We hope to once again swim there and be a part of this community. Coach Mike, Coach Jess, and Coach Marina are amazing at what they do and always try to make the best for us. Currently, we are bused or driven by our parents to NJCU or St. Peter's University in Jersey City. Scarlet Aquatics, Bayonne Mermaids and Starfish, along with BHS Swim, is my extended family. Lincoln Pool was our home, and we want to go home. What occurred at the pool was an unbelievable tragedy, and I hope it never happens again. I've prayed for this family and will continue to do so. The board and the administration have difficult jobs, and I thank you for doing them for us. My plea to you today is to remember us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I have a series of comments about Lincoln Pool. I'll call your name out if you still want to get up. How about we'll start with Alicia Lashansky?
I just want to remind everyone that as a board and the administration that's here, we cannot respond to anything having to do with the pool, as our attorney mentioned, but we will listen.
Thank you for listening. Good evening, trustees, President Vallado, board professionals on the dais, parents, and everyone else in attendance. My name is Alicia Lashanzi, and I am speaking this evening in regard to Lincoln Pool. First and foremost, let me extend my most sincere condolences to the family of this most awful tragedy. No one can imagine what that mom, that whole family is still going through. No one should have to suffer through something like this. The family has been and will remain in my prayers. The board, the administration, and the board legal team, as I met Mr. Jacoby earlier, have a lot in front of them. We are wondering what will come as a result of the situation. Will it be better operations, safer conditions, stricter guidelines, or the closing of the pool? We don't know what the future holds, and we're concerned. Our purpose of coming before you today is to provide you a face, or a voice, if you will, to the Scarlet Aquatics Bayonne Mermaids and Starfish swim team. Historically, the Bayonne Mermaids and Starfish were synonymous with Tom W. If I may have a show of hands, if anyone is a former mermaid or starfish, we have two that are present up at the dais. That proves that the roots go deep. Today, we have a new name, Scarlet Aquatics, Bayonne Mermaids and Starfish. If you're wondering if there is a correlation between the Scarlet name and the Rutgers University Scarlet Knights, the answer is a resounding yes. The swim team also has a new director, Michael Stankiewicz. Together with Assistant Director Jessica Beach and Coach Marina Nozhenko, our youth are able to participate in a sport that teaches them excellent physical disciplines, sportsmanship, setting and achieving goals, and overcoming challenges with like-minded peers. Both my daughters spent a year with Scarlet. My younger one learned each of the 4 strokes and then moved on to pursue her passion of performing arts. But my 17-year-old daughter Marissa, who just spoke before me, found a new home. Marissa found that she loves swim more than anything she has ever tried before. And trust me, she's tried everything. She's always been very driven and focused. That, matched with her new love of the water, is amazing for a parent to witness. Let's face it, the number one thing we want most for our children is for them to be happy. This is her thing. She found what makes her tick. Some people as adults still don't even find that. I recall last year at Lincoln Pool, she spent numerous hours and wouldn't have it any other way. She made a bunch of friends and learned valuable lessons. She had to push herself harder to keep up with some of the team members, as some swimmers begin as early at the age of 3. Anyone involved with the sports knows the science behind muscle memory. I found it fascinating that a female swimmer can lose muscle memory in as little as 24 hours. This helps me better understand why a senior team practices 6 days a week. These days, those practices are at NJCU or St. Peter's, but we think of Lincoln Pool often. When we pass by the school, the conversation always pops up. Did anybody hear anything about the pool possibly reopening? In addition to Scarlett and BHS practicing there, the pool used to be utilized for senior swim, water babies, open swim, pool parties, and more. I remember when I was in grammar school, and I'm going to take you on a quick flashback. Hopefully I'm not near my time, Dr. Maida. We're going back to the early 80s. And Mr. Fogo, we're in Henry Harris Gym. Is he here? Okay. Flashback to the early 80s, 2 7th graders come up to they approach my best friend, Melissa Magda, and I in the gym, and they ask, "Can you swim?" We're in a lower grade, shocked that upperclassmen are even speaking to us, so of course we said yes. I was fortunate enough to grow up with a pool in my backyard, so yeah, we could keep our heads afloat, but that was about it. When an upperclassman asks you a question in front of the gym teacher, you act cool and say, "Sure, I can swim." Then the gym teacher asks the both of us to swim on a relay team, and we're totally excited when we say, "Of course." Then we look at each other and say, "What's a relay team?" We found out a week later at Lincoln Pool while we were there for a grammar school swim team relay race. The diving block looked intimidating at first, but Melissa and I psyched each other up and agreed that we could handle it. All we had to do was dive in, swim freestyle, turn around somehow, kick the wall and come back. Easy peasy. We were kids. We were invincible. The gym teacher approached me and said, "Oh, Alicia, by the way, no, you're going last. You have to do backstroke." Well, did you ever feel a moment in your life where your body felt like it melted to liquid? That was me. My point is this. I have an amazing memory at Lincoln Pool because this pool was a part of the community when I grew up. I hope you all remember the value the pool brings to the community, and I hope it will be around for my children to make their own amazing memories. My husband, who's here with me tonight, I speak on behalf of both of us. We are grateful to each and every one of you for volunteering your time to be a trustee on the board, caring for our children and for our community. You have difficult jobs, but they are not thankless. We do thank you for listening and for what you do. Thank you.
Say one thing again about the pool. The board has every intention of reopening the pool. The issue is there's an ongoing investigation. We have insurance carriers, prosecutors' offices involved. So when we are able to reopen it, it will reopen. But we are not permitted to do it at this time because of the tragedy. So I want people to understand that you're free to speak, but the board is anxious to reopen it, but we have other people that we have to answer to make sure that we're not putting Bayonne, and frankly, when we say Bayonne, we're talking about the Bayonne taxpayers, because the Bayonne taxpayers are who fund the school system. And so we will have to make sure that we're taking whatever precautions are mandated by law enforcement and the insurance company to make sure that when it reopens, there won't be another tragedy in the future.
Hello, everyone. My name is Francis Prekop. I graduated from All Saints back in 2020. Fun year. I just wanted to come here to talk about Lincoln Pool. I can guarantee you, many others in this room actually learned how to swim in Lincoln Pool when I was 5 years old in the same program that continued all the way up to the tragedy early in June. And I just wanted to say that that pool is vital for the community. This town only has one other pool, and that pool is open for 3 months in the year. 3 months where kids can get lessons, but what about the other 9? What about for all the kids who don't have time during the summer, do other sports? I had an incident right after I learned how to swim. I fell into the Hudson River when I was 5 years old. Had I not learned how to swim, I would have. I don't want to know what would have happened to me in those dark, murky waters. Just wanted to put that there.
What's the name?
He's okay. Okay. Next up is Marina Nozenko, 175 West 43rd.
Thank you. Dear Bayonne Board of Education, colleagues, and fellow Bayonne community, hello, I am Marina Nozenko, coach of Bayonne Scarlet Swim Team Division. I would like to extend my sincere condolences to loved ones of the 2 young boys who tragically passed away this summer. As devastating as this day was for many of us, including myself, as I was there that day, we cannot permanently close Lincoln Community School pool. When I was a young girl, I vividly remember drowning in a lake myself. When my family went on the picnic, nobody in my family knew how to swim. Had it not been for a stranger walking past that lake and jumping in to save me, I would not be here today. The next day, my father enrolled me in a swim team, which eventually led to my 2 honors master's degree in athletics and my career path thereafter. When I came to America in 1998, we did not know much English. But the Lincoln Pool swim coach, Tom Wyslavovich, and I both understand the importance of knowing how to swim. While he taught swim lessons for the Lincoln School students and coached in a competitive swim team, which included my 4-year-old daughter, I became a water safety instructor as instructor for mommy and me lessons for infants and parents, adult swim lessons, and children with disabilities, lifeguard for open swim camps and senior swim, as well as a coach for competitive swim team. Lincoln Pool was my second home. I literally went from the pool to the hospital to deliver my second baby, and 2 days later, come back to continue a swimming lessons program. Every program needs a different approach, but every class gained the same life necessary skill, the knowledge and ability to prevent a drowning. Shutting the doors to Lincoln Pool is not the answer to preventing future tragedy. It is just shifting the location of where it may occur. Shutting down one of the new locations where teaching our community how to swim will only serve to increase drowning. Just once outside our pool gate as the people go to find new location to swim. In the short time that I swam past 2 young boys in the lane next to me, that unfortunate day, they were teaching each other to swim. I underline, they not play around, they teach each other. So let's continue doing that in their honor. The pool is not the issue. It's what we do at the pool that needs reevaluation. The amount of staff on duty, the types of staff available. Let's have the extra lifeguards always floating, have a head lifeguard, have eyes on all areas of the pool at all times, even the areas closed. Let's re-evaluate the access to the different depth of the pool, but let's not shut, I underline, not shut down the one place our community can learn how to swim. Thank you, happy holidays, and excuse my shaking voice. That's really my first speech today.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Good evening, Board of Ed members, Superintendent, and community of Bayonne. My name is Tracy Senna. I'm a sophomore at Bayonne High School. I'm on the Bayonne swim team, and I'm a certified lifeguard. Drowning is one of the leading causes of death globally for children for children and young people ages 1 to 24 of age. Every year, an estimated 236,000 people drown. More than 90% of those drowning deaths occur in low and middle income areas, with children under the age of 5 being at high risk. Members of the Bayonne High School swim team and I are here tonight to try and get the Lincoln's Community School pool to reopen. Last year on June 8th, the community of Bayonne suffered an unimaginable and tragic loss of 2 young men. I'm not here to diminish their loss of life. We can learn from this tragedy and enforce stricter guidelines and protocols to ensure the safety of our community. Bayonne is a diverse urban district. By not offering our young people the opportunities that I had as a young child, then we risk adding to the statistics that I read earlier. How do we let this happen? How do we put more children at risk of drowning? We cannot let that happen. By making changes and enforcing stricter guidelines, protocols, procedures in place, that will be our first major step. A zero tolerance rule for horseplay in and around the pool. Many of you may not see the importance or necessity of reopening our amazing facility at Lincoln Community School. However, this pool is important in many lives of our community. We cannot let our beautiful Lincoln Community School pool deteriorate being unused. Lincoln Community School pool offers so many wonderful programs that bring us together as a community. Some of these programs include Mommy and Me classes, Junior B's, Special Need Friday swims, Senior Citizen swim, group lessons for kids level 1 and level 2, buddy swim run by Bayonne Recreation, birthday parties, schools had swim nights there, schools used the pool for field days, Boy Scouts would have training there, swim nights for scouts. Other high schools and clubs would use the pool for swimming. Lifeguarding courses took place there, beach swim had practice, home meets, and hosted county championships here. I hope all of you take this statement into account when thinking about our pool reopening. This pool is essential to our community. Thank you for giving us, the Bayonne swim team, the opportunity to speak on this subject here with you today. With the suggestions, such as stricter protocols and guidelines, it can help us as a community create a safer environment while also enjoying it. Thank you.
Just want to say, we have 10 more cards for speaking on the pool. Before you all get up to speak, I just want to say that board, I'm speaking to us, we understand what you're saying, and when, like our attorney said, when we can and when it's possible, we hope to get to where the pool will be opened. Right now, we're in litigation, we can't talk more about it, but that is our goal, and we hope to get there. If anybody else wishes to speak, please come up, but please know our intent. That is our intent, to open our pool again.
How long does it take?
We have to wait for our litigation, for the courts and all that.
So let me just interrupt, Madam
Go ahead,
President.
please.
I just spoke to the superintendent, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a phone call to the insurance carrier to see if I can expedite anything, and we'll be able to report back at your January meeting. That's the best we can do right now. We do have to work, we have insurance carriers, we have investigations, but that's what I'll do as the board counsel. I have not been assigned to handle the case, but I will make a phone call. I do know the president of the insurance company, and I just told the superintendent I will make a phone call so that when we come back in January, we can report back to you. And I don't mind folks speaking to us, but we understand your desire to have the pool reopened. We want it reopened. But I will make some phone calls to see if I can help expedite that along. All right?
The next caller still like to speak is Isabella Fiore.
Good evening. My name is Isabella Fiore, and I'm a student from Washington Community School and a member of Scarlet Aquatics Bayonne. I think Lincoln Pool should be open because it is close to home, so I don't have to leave town. Also, Lincoln Pool is a clean and beautiful pool to swim in. My teammates and coaches promise to keep this pool clean and always follow the regulations. I am a Scarlet Bayonne mermaid, and Lincoln Pool is my home. Please consider opening up the pool.
We have a tall one here.
Good evening. Dear members and residents of Bayonne, my name is Mariana. I'm 7 years old. Little over a year ago, I didn't know how to swim. It was thanks to Coach Marina, then Coach Jessica, and Coach Mike that now I am able to take part in swim meets. Swimming makes me feel happy. I am part of the greatest team. The team makes me feel happy. The team makes me feel like I belong. Thanks to my coaches, I have more confidence. I wish for more of my friends to have the same opportunity. I hope that when I become the swimming world champion, I will be able to say that the city of Bayonne helped me to get there by providing access to their pools. I ask, please reopen the Lincoln Pool for us and our future. Thank you and good night.
Mariana, that was wonderful. Thank you so much for coming to speak to us. And we promise we will try to get that pool open as soon as we can for you. Thank you so much for coming to speak to us.
Hello, I'm Alexandra. I'll be speaking on the behalf of my sister, Katerina, and myself. Dear Board of Education, parents, students, colleagues, and friends. Hello, my name is Katerina Nojenko. I apologize that I could not be here today as I am a current medical student, but I am grateful for the next few moments of your time to share my thoughts regarding the importance of keeping the pools of Bayonne open. First and foremost, I would like to express my sincere condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones, and the community affected by the tragic events that occurred at Lincoln Pool earlier this year. I cannot begin to imagine the pain that the loss of the two young, talented men has caused his loved ones, and make my following statements with the utmost respect. Some of you may know me as a lifeguard from long ago, a medical provider, or one of the 16th Street Pools managers from this past summer. And while I am all of those titles, my most important one has been that of a swimmer. My journey with the Lincoln Pool began at the age of 3 when Coach Tom W. noticed me learning to swim in the shallow end of the Lincoln Pool with my mom. I have vivid memories of competing as a 4-year-old for the Bayonne Mermaid Starfish swim team for the next 10 years. In this pool, I've made lifelong friends, cried over early holiday swim practices, and won decade championships with the BHS team. In this pool, I've taught my 4-year-old sister to swim, me, current senior competitive swimmers to float and kick, and performed first aid during multiple swim meets, including seasonal championships and Special Olympics meets. This pool was my second home, the foundation of my college personal statement and athletic career, and the opportunity for multiple amazing jobs along wonderful mentors that turned into a passion and future career of saving lives. This pool is an opportunity, not just to create strong-willed student athletes, but to encourage physical activity from ages quite literally 0 to 100, and to teach a life-necessary skill, swimming. Swimming is not just what to see on the Olympic stage. It is knowing how to tread water, remain calm, control our breathing, and assist a fellow swimmer if need. Closing this pool will impede our community from learning a vital life skill that extends far beyond just the pool, but to the beach, the water parks, lakes, and even natural disasters. And believe me when I say, flotation devices can more often be a bigger life threat by impeding one from bringing their head back up above the water than they can help. In reality, any distressed swimmer needs both the skills and the equipment. Rather than close the single year-round facility that can foster the learning and teaching of these important skills, I propose we strategize to make it safer, to create more swimming lessons, more first response lessons for the general public, better signage, and deep water access restrictions, or monitoring among other things. The events of this past summer are tragic, and my heart truly goes out to the loved ones of the young men whose lives were taken far too soon. But permanently shutting down the pool is not the answer. Although I did not know the young men personally, there has been nothing but positive words said about them in the community. I imagine that these two young men were ambitious leaders wishing to inspire people and eager to change the world. I imagine that rather than being remembered for the tragedy that happened to them, they would wish to be remembered as a strong, passionate force that made change in the world. Let's be better in their honor. Let's do better as a community so that nothing like this ever happens again. Let's teach our children, our adults, our grandparents to be safe and confident around any body of water. Let's be vigilant for one another. Something as simple as teaching the public a reach and assist from deck for a swimmer in need. Closing this pool would be closing the book on two bright young men and giving up on their story. Their story should not end in a tragedy, hence giving up is not an option. If we gave up every time tragedy occurred rather than learning from it and making meaningful changes to our protocols, safety measures, and standards, we would have no healthcare system, no roads, no airplanes, and no tight-knit community whose collective minds and efforts can continue on the legacy of Jack Jiang and Chu Ming Zheng. We owe it to these boys to improve. Let's be better, do better, and there be for each other. Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Michael Stankwitz. I'm going to make a quick pivot here and say thank you between Mr. Lawyer, I apologize, I forget your name, and Ms. Velato. I know you both kind of pivoted for us a little bit, so I'm basically going to just reorganize. Long story short, you have an uphill battle, criminal investigation, you have a lot of work to do. You just have support. If you look behind me, the kids weren't really sure what type of support we were talking about, so a lot of them have speeches about, please don't close, please consider us, please take us seriously. Now that you're telling us that you already are, we're a little bit softer, we're a little bit happier, of course, but we're still just as motivated as we were 5 minutes ago. So my point is, when the insurance carrier finishes up with you, when the parents are done saying what they need to feel like they can move forward in their lives, when you guys figure out what it is going to cost the taxpayers and the bill shakeout, we're here and we have your back. You have tons of experience. We're one of 4 locations in the state of New Jersey. We have more than 150 years of experience from coaches. If you need boots on the ground or fundraisers to get started, hands are behind you, plenty and ready. That's the only thing I want to make sure that you guys are all aware of. We appreciate your time. We thank you for letting us speak and get through some of the hard words that they planned all week to work through. It's very nice of you. I know you have a lot of layers that you're dealing with. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Anissa Matos. I'm a freshman at Bayonne High School, and I have been swimming for 8 years. I'm a member of Scarlet Aquatics and the Bayonne High School swim team. But in addition to this, I'm a member of the Bayonne community. When I was younger, my mom put me in swim lessons, and neither of us knew the significance it would have on my life. The plan was never to be professional. All I needed to do was learn the basics. But when an opportunity knocks on the door, you usually open it. I remember I had my first tryouts for Scarlet Aquatics at Lincoln Pool. I was only 5. It was my first major rite of passage in swimming, and it was my home away from home. We were there so often, it felt like second nature. Now, with the idea it's just going to be gone, an empty pool with hundreds of memories. Swimming has had an extreme impact on my life. I could go on about everything that I've learned in the past 8 years. I've learned to be independent, I've learned time management, self-discipline, and leadership qualities, just because of one sport. Many coaches around me have become my role models. They've pushed me every single day to try to be a little bit better than the previous. And I've made many, many bonds with many different people. Everything that has been taught to me in this sport has given me the passion to speak here tonight, and it has given me the courage to stand up and speak for what I believe in. Lincoln Pool should not be closed. Not only has this pool been with me in my personal life, it has offered many fulfilling opportunities for the people of Bayonne. It's a city mark. From open swim to hosting pool parties, everyone knows about it, and it has done a lot of good for this city in all of its years of operation. I myself have been to parties at that pool, and I've watched people to swim at that pool. And when my mom came to this country in 1991, she learned how to swim, right in Lincoln Pool. This goes to show that this pool has done amazing things in its time. However, with all of this, we should not forget the incident that occurred at the same pool. 2 lives were lost, and what happened on that day was tragic, and it never should have happened, nor will ever be forgotten. But if we could spare a moment to think about it like this, if we were to shut something down or give up every single time something went wrong, we as a species would never be able to move forward. The only reason why we were able to keep improving and adapting was because of the enhancements made to past errors. We need to educate people on the importance of swim safety, not run from it. If we were to close it, the next generation is going to fall behind. We can't wait until summer to go back to 16th Street Pool and then start over again. Kids will never learn about the importance of swim safety that way. If we allow the pool to close, we're throwing away a problem that can be fixed. According to a study done by the U.S. Department of Health, formal swim lessons reduce the risk of drowning by 88%, and that's just one of many ways that we can fix this issue. So with all of this, I simply don't believe that this wonderful facility should be closed. I hope you take all of this into consideration. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, board. My name is Natalie Ramos, and I will be speaking on the topic of reopening Lincoln Community School Pool. I'm not only coming here as captain of the girls' swim team or a member of the Bayonne High School swim team, but also as a member of the Bayonne community. When I was 3, my parents signed me up for swimming lessons at Lincoln Pool, and as I got older, I progressed through different levels of classes, and one of my instructors told my mom about a local team called Scarlet Aquatics. They practice at Lincoln, so every day after school, I came to the pool for practice and sometimes stayed for open swim. My life began to revolve around the pool. It was a second home to me, a safe place, and other young swimmers. Participation in the sport has impacted me in more ways than I can even explain. Excellent coaches from Junior B's, Scarlet, Bayonne High School became my mentors, shaped me into the leader I am today, and gave me courage to speak out for what I believe in. I understand the importance of being a part of a team and succeeding together. This pool has not only been a haven for competitive swimmers, but also the community. My sister, who could not be here today, was also a competitive swimmer and once told me one of her favorite moments of being on the swim team was that the old head coach required swimmers to help at least for 2 sessions of buddy swim. She never ended up missing a single session. This pool has given countless of opportunities to underprivileged members of Bayonne. Students have been given the ability to collaborate with coaches and coach themselves. The Junior B's program, teach private swim lessons, and receive volunteer hours for their work. Programs such as Adult Swim, Special Needs Swim / Buddy Swim, Junior B's, and Summer Camp Swim were able to flourish at Lincoln. These opportunities will not only help our community in the long run, But we must not open this pool lightly and remember why it closed in the first place. We must remember the tragedy that occurred at this pool, which claimed 2 vibrant lives. As a community, we must join together and move forward, but not forget, but improve. By adding more safeguards, stricter guidelines, we must make this pool a safe place again for our community. Thank you for your time. Have a good night and happy holidays.
Good evening. My name is Claudia Gwozdewska. I am a swimmer at Scarlet Aquatics, Bayonne, New Jersey. Lincoln Pool should be open because it is the only local pool in Bayonne that is open all year round, which helps our swim team have a place where we can have our daily practice and gives us more time to swim. It allows our team to have practice in a clean, spacious, and beautiful pool. It provided me with a place to come after school and learn important skills. Lincoln Pool was the first place in which I swam and had a great coach. The coaches there taught me how to swim and the importance of swimming. Lincoln Pool should be open so that kids and all people in Bayonne can learn how to swim. So it would be great to consider opening Lincoln Pool so people in our team can continue to learn how to swim and get better. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Mihal Draws. I've been a swimmer at Lincoln Community School for 9 years, have swam for 3 teams at Lincoln Community School's pool, and I'm the current captain of the Bayonne High School's boys swimming team. I've spent countless hours with my summer camp and teams at this pool. The topic of reopening the pool has touched us all deeply. As a community, we understood the decision to close the pool in the wake of this tragedy, but now, after some time has passed, I stand before you to advocate for its reopening. I'm concerned that if the pool remains closed, it will suffer the same fate as the pool at Bayonne High School, which was never advocated for and eventually fell into disrepair. History may repeat itself, so many people don't even know that Bayonne High School has a pool because people forgot and didn't know. That pool now lies in the basement of the school as a storage unit for old desks and chairs, cluttering and clogging the positive impact it once gave Bayonne High School's swimming program. I understand that the closure of the pool has been a difficult decision for our community leaders, but I also believe that it is time to move forward and find ways to honor the memories of the 2 brothers who lost their lives. Accidents happen and people have to acknowledge them and learn from them. Closing the pool closes the pool's legacy to the pool where the 2 brothers died, and not where Bayonne High School's swimming team, Junior B's adult swimming, summer camps, public swimming, Scarlet swimming, and special education camps have thrived for years before. We cannot let fear and sadness keep us from enjoying the many benefits that our community pool provides. It is a place where families come together, where children learn to swim, and where people of all ages can exercise and socialize. It created opportunities for the underprivileged youth of Bayonne and created possibilities for them to build lasting ties, connections, and friendships with its community. I urge our community leaders to consider the importance of the pool to our community and to work towards finding a solution that allows us to reopen it safely. Let us come together and honor the memories of the 2 brothers by ensuring that our community has a place to come together and enjoy all that life has to offer. Thank you, Board of Education.
Good evening. My name is Laura Gwozdewska, and I'm part of the Scarlet Aquatics Bayonne Club. Lincoln Pool is where many swimmers, like me, first learned how to swim. I, for example, began swimming when I was 8 years old. It was then that I realized that I enjoyed swimming. The pool created an opportunity for me to swim. I believe others should have that opportunity, and kids should have a chance to try and learn to swim. Many people also enjoy teaching swimming, and the pool would be able to provide jobs and open positions for people who want to teach others how to swim. I remember when I first started having swimming lessons at Lincoln Pool, I was always afraid to let go of anything that kept me afloat, but the coaches there taught me that I had to let go and try. Because of them, I discovered that swimming was something that I enjoyed. I believe many others kids could be afraid to swim at first, but if they had access to a pool and coaches, they could gain an opportunity to swim. And even if someone already knows how to swim, Lincoln Pool is a great place for people to extend their skills and knowledge. I thank you for your efforts at trying to reopen the pool. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everyone who spoke, but especially all the children that came up and had the courage to come up and advocate for the reopening of their pool. We will take everything you said into consideration. You do not fall on deaf ears. And we hope to be able to open it as soon as we possibly can. Thank you so much for coming out and advocating for your sport and for the pool. Thank you.
Mr. Woods, would you like to?
So, good evening, everyone. There was two comments that were made tonight. One about our students being unable to read and that they're functionally illiterate. Our teachers in this district are the best in the entire state. I'll put them up against any single one of the teachers that are across the state. And to say that is not only an offense to all of our educators here, but for me, I'm offended for the students. We have great students in our district. We constantly score very well on, although I don't like standardized tests, but we constantly score well there. Our students constantly do well in competitions because of the access that they have to the great teachers here. So I just want to put that out there. Thank you to all of our teachers who do this, our ELA teachers, our history teachers, our science teachers, everybody who takes part in every aspect of our children's lives in this district, including the parents. So I just want to make that clear that we are here representing everybody and that our students and our staff are excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
President, that is all I have for this evening, but I believe we have three outgoing trustees.
We have three trustees that today is their last meeting. We have Lisa Burke. We have, please round of applause, Jan Egan, and Commissioner Dennis Wilbeck. I will now give them, I want to say it was a pleasure working with them. As a board, we did great things all together. And I want to give them a few minutes if they'd like to say a few words. Ms. Burke? Trustee Burke?
I did my speech inside. I wanted to thank the community for voting me in and giving me the opportunity to represent you all. It was an honor. I truly led with my heart. For those of you who know me, know that I had special education in mind the entire time, and it has grown leaps and bounds over the past 3 years, especially with us being in pandemic. It was not easy. Nothing was easy up here. Again, I thank you so much, and it was an honor to serve the community.
Thank you, Lisa. It was an honor to have you on this board. Trustee Egan?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. It was a fun 3 years. We worked hard. We had a lot of challenges with COVID, but it was great getting to meet the other trustees and the central office staff and the other professionals that I interacted with. It was an honor. It truly was. I'm a product of Bayonne's public schools. My mother was a public school teacher. Public school is important to me, you know, I spent a lot of time in Lincoln Pool too, a lot of time. You know, hopefully the incoming board will be able to solve those problems for you guys. I guess the one thing I'll say is, you know, there's always another problem, and regardless of what you think of who sits up here, there's not one person that sat up here in the last, since they started electing, or since ever, that it really doesn't have the best interests of the students at heart. People don't always agree. You may not agree with us. We don't agree with each other all the time. But everybody here was trying their best to do the best for the citizens of Bayonne and the students and the staff. And again, just thank you. It was an honor.
Thank you, Trustee Egan. It was an honor to serve with you. Trustee Wilbeck.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have two things to say. One, I was on the swim team, and this
Board of Education and Central Administrators, if they can get that pool open, you can bet your $5, they will. That's one. Two, I travel throughout the United States and doing sports. I go nationally and I go regionally. And the teachers here in Bayonne, the students, especially in the city of Bayonne, as well as the district, are second to none. I go to universities, I go to high schools, I go to USA tournaments throughout the country, and again, I repeat, the students, the teachers, the administrators that you see up here are second to none. They're equal to, if not better than any school I have been to in the United States. So as Gene Wood just said, not only are they the best here in the county and the state, they're the best throughout the United States. And it's been my pleasure to be here with this Bayonne High School District for the last several years. And best wishes, good luck, and have a great 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Wilbeck. It was an honor to serve with you. I'll motion.
President Villato's motion to adjourn. Second by Trustee Gonzalez. On that motion and second, Trustee Burke. Yes. Trustee Cassius. Yes. Trustee Egan. Yes. Trustee Gadesky Rodriguez. Yes. Trustee Gonzalez. Yes. Trustee Stefan. Yes. Trustee Wilbeck. Yes. Vice President Munoz. Yes. President Villardo. It is
Yes.
8:10. The meeting is over. The board will not return.